Jerry and Esther and family and friends took a hot air balloon ride this week. So fun. And Jerry said, I think I'll bring my hat. No, I think I won't. No, I think I will. No, I think I won't. And Kevin said, I'm not going to bring my hat because I don't want it to blow away. And then Jerry said, well, let's be logical about this. If we are in the balloon and the balloon is moving with the wind, then we should feel no wind. And sure enough, when you move with the current, you don't feel the resistance that you feel when you don't move with the current. Such an interesting, peaceful experience to be floating, really floating relatively quickly in a current of wind where you are one with the wind. Such a nice thing. We want you to be one with the wind that you have set into motion. When you are one with the wind, when you are in vibrational alignment with who you really are, you don't feel the friction that others feel when they are not. And we want you to know that every bit of wind is caused by you, and every bit of friction is caused by you too. Your wind wouldn't blow if you didn't live life and ask. That's what makes your wind blow. That's what makes the stream flow. In other words, that's what makes the current go. You're asking, and that's what sets the current in motion. But when you ask and then you say, oh, well, but I can't, don't know, what may be wrong. When you hesitate, when you don't go, when you cling to a spot and the wind has to rush past you, some of you have created gale force winds and then you nailed your feet to the floor. And then you say, it's miserable here. And we say, lighten up and let the wind take you. And we want you to know that no matter how fast your wind is blowing, and it's blowing fast, when you're going with it, you have the experience of well-being, because when you're going with the flow, you don't feel the resistance, you see. And others who will watch you will say, oh man, look at that guy go. He must be a maniac. I would never want to go that fast. And we say, yes, he would. He wants to go that fast. He just doesn't want the current from within to be pulling him when he's not ready, you see. You can't not make the wind go. You can't hold back. You can't listen to us and then say, well, I'm going to make very sure that my wind never blows again. I'm just going to hold my thoughts in. We say, you cannot stop sifting through life and setting that into motion. You can't stop that. You have only one choice if you are to live the deliberate, joyful life that you came to live. And that is, you've got to go with this flow. You have to. You have to go with it. Well, let us put that a different way. You're going. You're going. The question is, are you going willingly? Or are you holding back? And is the wind of your own creation now beating up on you? You see. So what this gathering is really about, it's a seminar that teaches allowing within the magnificent constraints of law of attraction. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. Well, if that's true, then that means this large part of you, this source energy part of you, this eternal part of you who's been around a lot longer than this you that you think is you, this eternal part of you, this evolving part of you, this pulsing God force energy that is you, that radiates from the vortex that we are calling the vortex. We know it seems a little odd. I went to a seminar and this man called his wife Abraham. It was very strange. And she waved her arm around and pointed at the floor and called it a vortex. This vortex of creation, where the larger part of you is calling you incessantly, calling you. Because law of attraction says that you are likened to it. You gave birth to what it is. And so you are predominantly it. So the art of allowing says, I've already completed step 1 of the 3-step process. I've sifted through the contrast and I have asked. I've launched the rocket. And step 2 is Source is answering that. Source has become it. Source stands in your vortex of creation, having become and having assembled all of the cooperative components. So step 1 and 2 have already been completed with your help, but not by your deliberate attention. In other words, you can't help but ask, and Source will answer every single time. That would be a really good title for a book. But where you come in, and what this workshop really is all about, is you've got to find a way to be more consistently a vibrational match to what you've already set into motion. And the only way that you can do that is first acknowledge that this vortex exists and that it is real time, and that everything that you are and everything that you want is already spinning there and is calling you toward it. And if you can accept that, then the next thing, the only other thing that you've got to gather from this seminar that will take you to whatever heights you want to go is you have to decide that you're going to go with the flow, which means you have to let loose of the thoughts and ideas and opinions and attitudes that hold you back from this fast-moving energy that really represents who you are. You cannot harbor ill will toward others and go with the flow. You can't be unhappy with yourself. You can't stand and look at yourself in a mirror and cast negative judgment on what you see and go with the flow. You can't lament things. You can't be repentant. You can't even be in the state of forgiving and go with the flow, because when you are attempting your forgiveness, you are focused upon the slight that you are trying to overcome. In other words, this business of letting go means pure thought. It means thoughts of love. It means thoughts of life. It means thoughts of absence of resistance. It means being up to speed with who you really are. And what we want you to understand is that once you get into this vortex and you feel the frequency of it, you feel the homecoming of it, you feel the comfort of it, you feel the sureness of it and the rightness of it, and you deliberately hover there with the intention of feeling it and recognizing it and knowing it, so that you'll know when you're not there and you'll know when you are there. That's the first important step to understanding this vortex and being the pure, resistant-free, deliberate creator that you were born to be.